Welcome to today's broadcast. I'm reading from the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse number 5 in the Passion Translation. In the same way, the younger ones should willingly support the leadership of the elders. In every relationship, each of you must wrap around yourself the apron of humble servant, because God resists you when you are proud, but multiplies grace and favor when you are humble. What a word from God. We've been seeing since Monday that it is possible to frustrate the grace of God upon one's life. And yesterday we started seeing the first enemy of grace, which is pride. We saw how once you give pride any chance, the grace of God will shrink. The grace of God will be nullified. The grace of God will leave. So somebody can be a man of grace, and instead of going from grace to grace, it goes from grace to grace because of pride. The scripture today is very appropriate in analyzing for us what it means to be proud. That scripture said God multiply grace to the humble. So pride is a killer, is an enemy of grace. To make it easy, I like to read it from Amplified Classic, and I'll break it down one after another. Likewise, you who are younger and of a lesser rank, be subject to the elders, the ministers, and the spiritual guide of the church. God sees pride or humility in our relationship in church and in our environment, in our own house. The way you deal with those who are ahead of you will show either you are proud or you are humble. And then he went on and said, giving them due respect and yielding to their consent. So how do you know a proud man? He can't give respect and he doesn't want to be corrected or given a guidance. So as it were, pride is not one big demon that you can just cast out. It's in the attitude of how you treat those who are ahead of you, or those who are your mates, or those who are below you. How do you treat their correction? And how do you give them the due respect? The scripture went on and said, clothe, apron yourself, all of you, with humility, as the garb of a servant. So it's a sign of service. When you clothe yourself with humility, clothe, apron yourself, all of you, with humility, as a garb of servant, so that his covering cannot possibly be stripped from you with freedom from pride and arrogance. So somebody can be free from pride and arrogance, because pride and arrogance is an enemy of grace towards one another. For God set himself against the proud. God set himself against the proud. And this scripture broke down who is a proud person. Number one, the insolent. You can just say anything to anybody, you don't care. When you are insolent, you're proud. Number two, the overbearing. Somebody that you cannot, you can't contain. Any little thing you spark, any little thing you want to say your mind, any little thing you want to show yourself, you're losing grace by such attitude. Number three, the disdainful. A disdainful person is someone who wants to revenge. If somebody say, you want to say it back, you don't want to take any nonsense. You are disdainful. And that's a sign of pride. The next one is the presumptuous. Before you hear the detail of what happened, you have concluded. Pride won't let you listen to people when they are talking. Nobody can finish statement. You just want to cut it short because you think somebody is trying to step or overstep their boundaries. That's pride by this scripture. And then the boastful. Any little thing you have, you think you have the whole world. You know, like somebody say, if you are proud of your car, it's somebody that's producing it. If you are proud of your clothes, you bought it from somewhere. Or somebody sold the material, okay? And so God is against the insolent, the overbearing, the disdainful, and the presumptuous, and the boastful. And he opposes, frustrates, and defeats them, but gives grace, favor, blessing to the humble. So the enemy of grace is pride. Write it again. Pride will frustrate grace. God bless you. See you tomorrow.